Vanakkam. My name is Radhika Ganesh. I'm a cultural political activist from Tamil Nadu. The purpose of this video is three-pronged. One, to condemn the continuous attacks being mounted on Dr. Thol Tirumavalavan by right-wing Hindutva groups, led of course by the BJP and followed promptly by Tamil Brahmin community here. The second is to stand as a woman from great privilege and unequivocally reject the oppressive scripture Manusmriti. Third, to inform my non-Tamil speaking counterparts outside everywhere else in India about this very important cultural moment in our political history, following in the footsteps of Mahatma Phule, Dr. Ambedkar, Periyar. Dr. Thol Tirumavalavan has called for the ban of Manusmriti. For those of you who don't know who Dr. Tirumavalavan is, he is the founder of the Vidudalai Sirithaigal Katchi, a party that has relentlessly represented the voices of the marginalized. He himself is known to have been a fighter for issues that no other politician will take up. He is also currently a Member of Parliament from the Chidambaram constituency. On September 27th, 2020, Dr. Tirumavalavan spoke on Periyar and feminism at an online webinar organized by the European Union Periyar and Ambedkar Comrades Federation. Promptly, a few weeks later, right-wing groups took that video, edited it out of context. Out of an hour and a half, I think, they took out a 6-minute clip and made it viral online. And Dr. Tirumavalavan is quoted saying that the Manusmriti deems all women to be prostitutes. I'm paraphrasing, of course, but he wasn't. Tirumavalavan was quoting directly from the Manusmriti. So if at all the right-wing groups should be cyber attacking anybody, it should be Manu, because it was his words that were being repeated. And obviously this was extremely out of context. It makes absolutely no sense for anybody who has seen the political trajectory of Dr. Tirumavalavan to believe that he will even the least, denigrate women in any way, because both the VCK and him as personally have stood for women and women's rights and women emancipation ever since the party came into play, and even before that in his stint in the Dravidian parties. The attack was promptly lifted and propped up by many local politicians, as well as the Tamil Brahmin community and the loud sort of elements within the Tamil Brahmin community online. First on the list is Ms. Khushbu Sundar. It is very unfortunate because Ms. Khushbu Sundar has gone through something like this herself before she joined the BJP, which, by the way, was just a couple of days before she came out and demanded an apology from Dr. Tirumavalavan. She was initially in a Dravidian party, then moved to the Congress, and 4 days before this attack shifted to the BJP and found this as a very convenient moment to become a loud sort of a representative of BJP Hindutva ideology here in the state. I would like to remind Ms. Khushbu Sundar that she herself was subjected to severely traumatizing sort of backlash by similar groups when she made comments on women and their right, sexual right, a few years ago, actually several years ago. It's surprising that somebody, just because they are trying to, have a political career, can easily forget personal experiences like this. I don't think Dr. Tirumavalavan has said anything offensive to actually come out and apologize, and he has very courageously said that he will take on the legal battle. Chennai police were very prompt in filing a cyber complaint against Mr. Tirumavalavan, and the case will be met with, the legal recourse will be sought. Post this, the Tamil Brahmin community, unfortunately, to which I belong, I can't do anything about it except acknowledge its tremendous, huge role in perpetuating oppression in Tamil Nadu and everywhere else in the country, has mounted so much pressure, coming out and saying all kinds of things about Tirumavalavan and his family and his background. If this isn't casteism, what is? Dr. Tirumavalavan is a very vocal anti-caste activist and a politician, and he has represented many women's issues both inside and outside the parliament. And to come out and mount an attack on somebody like him, saying he is disrespecting or denigrating women, is absolutely, well, mindless. Moving on to my second reason for making this video. As an individual, as a woman from a privileged caste class location, and as somebody who has built or is slowly building an allyship based on acknowledgement with so many friends from the margins, I unequivocally reject the Manusmriti and stand by Dr. Tol Tirumavalavan on calling for a ban on this scripture. I am sure a lot of you are angry because I am saying this, or I am evoking the name of the Tamil Brahmin community. But I feel very strongly about this. There are many of you with whom I have had personal conversations and struggles and fights, trying to explain, or at least trying to put my opinion forward, and it has sometimes had results, most times not, because that is how Brahminical patriarchy works. Even in this situation, there are so many vocal, famous online crusaders of Tamil Brahmin heritage and Hindutva heritage who've come and opposed or attacked Dr. Tirumavalavan. Being women, you must take a step back to see how Brahminical patriarchy is turning us against us. On to the third purpose of my video. Feminist friends from across the country, Tamil Nadu is at the cusp of a cultural, political moment in history. Following in the footsteps of Mahatma Phule, Dr. Ambedkar, Periyar, Dr. Tol Tirumavalavan has called for a ban on Manusmriti, led by women in the VCK, Dalit women across the state. This is a moment where all of us must show our solidarity. So I request all of you to come online, go out in the streets, and demand the ban of Manusmriti. Show your support for this movement and condemn the attack that is being mounted on Dr. Tol Tirumavalavan and the movement of the marginalized here in Tamil Nadu. Thank you for watching my video. Jai Bhim, Zindabad, Vanakkam.